Hello, good afternoon, viewers. It's a privilege to be here again where we will be discussing some of the happenings in Nigeria. I am Stella Shadasham, and of course, the program is Nigeria Now. You can be part of the conversation by dropping your comment, your views on our Facebook and also on YouTube. I will be doing this program together with Rachel Tansey. Good afternoon, Rachel.
Afternoon,
How are you
sir.
doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm great, thank you so much. And we would love to look at some issues. We'll touch what is happening in River State as well as look at what NAFDAC have to say concerning food preservation, especially cooked food. And we'd love to start with that because I know this is something that might sound kind of controversial to a number of Nigerians looking at what is happening presently. But we're seeing that NAFDAC have said that consuming cooked food that has been in the refrigerator, roasted food that has been in the refrigerator for beyond 3 days is harmful because according to them, when you save this food for this period of time, it has a way of breeding pathogens, and then those pathogens are very harmful to the body. And sometimes you now start sounding like a nutritionalist when you're talking about certain things, but it's very important because just recently looking at the World Food Safety Day, where they had for always when we celebrate these world days we have team, and then the team for this year was prepared for the unexpected, even though this was about 2 weeks ago, because the World Safety Day was on 7th of June. So but then it was important for NAFDAC to look at what is happening presently, looking at certain harmful substances that are being released on the food. And then I just couldn't help but take my mind even to the issue of the cholera we're having presently and other food um, poisoning, that we do have people falling to illnesses, and then sometimes you really cannot tell. And we know we can actually link it from even those who are producing the food down to those who are consuming the food. Is very important. So it's more like a food chain, and it's very important that we follow those chains if we really want to live healthy. I know it might sound kind of strange to a number of Nigerians because that is the best way we know how to do it. Cooking, especially our soups, our stews, to preserve it for a number of days so that you could just, microwave it and all of that. But then we're seeing now that is coming out. So you know what? Anything that is beyond 3 days is harmful to your body, and we just can't help but discuss it, as well as seeing what we can do, what other measures can Nigerians take when it comes to consuming of food, how do they preserve food and all of that. I know this is a conversation that will be very difficult, but we need to have it at a time like this, Rachel.
Well, we just have to have it. And the sad part about it is that it's coming at the moment when Nigerians are struggling
Honestly.
financially and the standard of living keeps going low. And we know that food preservation have been one of the ways Nigerians keep their head above water, most especially when it comes to food, because a lot of households depend on food storage, most especially when there is a season and there's certain food available. You store it up so that when the season is out and is expensive, you would have that food stored up for a
True.
long period of time until when it's affordable in the market and all of that. And then hearing this from NAFDAC, I was like, wait, are we going to survive this country at all, or something
Honestly.
like that? It's really a tough one. However, the truth is, um, every food have a lifespan when it comes to storage, and there's no how we can say that um, stored food or frozen foods are the best. No, we can't come here and say what NAFDAC is saying is not true. It's very true. There are disease causing pathogens that will rest on your food and grow. When you don't even store a food properly, it changes color. You
Of
can
course.
see that it already says something is wrong with it. Sometimes it loses the taste. It already tells you something is wrong with it. And sometimes you begin to see fungus building on top of it, and then you can have food poisoning because of the fungal infections from the food
True.
that you've seen, because sometimes we see it but we just wave it up and we eat, and we can see that it causes a lot of sicknesses. It has led to deaths of so many individuals and so on and so forth. At this point in time, I'm not going to ask Nigerians to throw their food, but it's time for you to go into research and know what food can you store up longer, and what food you should know that when you make this one, consume it immediately. Fresh food, when it comes to clean eating and healthy eating, is always the best. Eating your tomato fresh is always the best. Your vegetables fresh, your soup, everything, food fresh is the best. There's nobody that can argue that or deny that and say it's a lie. It's like saying okrika is better than brand new clothes. That's not true. Yes, it's the same way. So what are we supposed to do? I think this is time for us to go back, right, and research what food can stay longer. And also there's a key indication that they made that stored properly. Now, if you notice, when the season is cold, our food don't get spoiled quickly.
Easily, true.
Even your refrigerator stays cold longer. When the season is hot, it doesn't stay cold for that long. The moment you put something inside the fridge, like now that is the rainy season, you find out that your food is cold for longer. Even when there is no light, the fridge retains
Cold,
yes, for a long
coldness.
while. The ice doesn't melt. But when it comes to the season that is hot, reverse is the case. So we take note of certain things like that. I know tomato for Nigerians is one of the major things that there's a season where it's less expensive and more expensive. So we store it up. So it goes months and months of being stored. You do your research. I think this is the best we can do for Nigerians. And we can't come out and say NAFDAC is not telling the truth, because they are absolutely right.
True.
Yes, they are absolutely right. But what do? You sit down and look at the food that have a longer lifespan when it comes to preservation and when it comes to frozen. Which food can stay longer when frozen properly? This is not health talk. We are not giving you from an expert.
Tips.
Yeah,
Of
just
course.
tips to tell you that, you know what, just go and do your homework, because I know that Nigerians have used food storage, refrigerating food as a means to survive. And now, that a basket of tomato is around, we can't tell you to eat 28,000 between 2 days now. That's not fair to anybody. We can't do that. But then, do your research. How long can I save this food properly, well kept, that it will not be poisonous to me? And how do I know when a food has become poison? Yeah, that's also something for us to look at. How long can it take when saved properly for me to consume it easily without it becoming poison to me? And then when it has become poison, how do I know it? This is the best that we can give as tips to Nigerians right now. So just do your own work. Know the food that is just you. There's no magic around it. Just know that if you are cooking this food, you are eating it today, and it's okay.
And know it for the next 2 days.
Exactly. And then know the ones that can go a little bit longer, and all of that. That's the best we can do, because for me it's the same thing. I believe for you too, Sele, it's the same thing. We're all almost everybody's on this boat regarding food preservation, frozen foods, and all of that. So let's just do our research and just try our best possible to see how we can stay healthy and not end up poisoning ourselves just because we are trying to survive.
Honestly, regardless of how hard the times are, we just cannot overemphasize the importance of healthy living, because believe me, you need the food to hustle for whatever it is. And you know, right now I think very few Nigerians can actually even be able to afford to live to stretcher. Right now it's jollof rice everybody's eating. If you have access to white rice and stew, then you know that, I mean, you're somewhere. But then just like you said, I mean, it's even, you know, when you relate it with even the team saying that prepare for the unexpected, this is part of the unexpected, Richard. And I actually would not blame, because this report would have come earlier, but it's coming now. That is to tell us that a number of things are happening. Let's look at the fertilizer we put on our crops these days. Rachel, you could actually testify that carrot is not as sweet as it used to be.
It's not.
Neither is your roasted or your boiled corn, because this is the season. If you feel the taste, there was the way it used to taste back then. There's this sweet taste we have, but right now, most of our crops are losing their taste. So all of these things can actually be a contributing factor to the reason why when you store it for over 3 days, definitely setting to start growing and all of that. So if you are actually growing your own crops, it's better, because just like we said, it's a food chain, starting from even the production of this food down to the consumption. That is what is giving birth to all of this. So we just hope, just like you said, do your research. What can you say for the next 2 3 days? Make sure you consume it, and then what is it that you need to prepare fresh? I just hope that this will not be a way to advocate for people who want to be cooking fresh food and stressing their loved ones.
We
I mean,
hope
this
not.
is not, of course, this is not the time for me, but we
Yes.
just hope that we'll do what we need to do to be able to have food stuff, and then as well as eat healthy. Now, in the lips of most Nigerians, I mean, our attention has been drawn to what is happening in Rivers State. I mean, Rivers State have been drawing the attention of Nigerians for us for months now. I can't really tell, but we're seeing that the back and forth, looking at what is happening at the local government area, and then we're seeing that the tenure for the local government chairman, about 23 local government in Rivers State, their tenure is over, and then they are supposed to resign. But then we're seeing that there have been chaos concerning them resigning, where we saw youth have taken over the headquarters, security agency are telling parents to warn their children not to be troublemakers, or else we're seeing that even we've lost a soldier, a police, sorry,
Yes,
vigilante as well. And then things are happening there. We're seeing that the governor have to step on the matter, where we're saying that he has actually set up a committee, which already he has. We have this caretaker committee for the about 23 local government areas. Presently, as we're speaking already, swearing in has already taken place, as well as we're saying that he has also asked the Auditor General of the state to actually audit the account for the past 3 years. So that is to say, this chairman that were refusing to step down will actually be called to give account of how they were able to spend the various money that was given to them. And I think I have to applaud him, because looking at what is happening there, there is a need for you as the leader of that state to step up and take certain responsibility. We knew that there was a time, there was a committee, they wanted to amend the bills concerning the local government in the state, and then we're saying that tomorrow is going to be the hearing where we'll hear, because the court said no, there's no amending of that bill whatsoever. So tomorrow we'll get to know what is the next step that will be taken. But I really have to commend the governor of Rivers State for actually setting up this caretaker committee. I know there's little they can do for now, especially when it comes to handling allocation for the local government. He has to, see to it that the right thing is being done. But then at a time like this, to be able to save the situation, there is a need for caretaker committee, pending on when elections will be conducted for the local government area. So I'm happy about this, but I'm just hoping that this will not give birth to another chaos beyond what we're seeing. We're seeing youth are breaking down statues of Wike. It's now looking as if this is a personal beef, not about the state and all of that. But then this is just what is happening, and we see more things are unfolding concerning that state. But I'm just hoping that we'll have some rest when it comes to Rivers State, because a lot is happening in Nigeria presently, and our attention being drawn to Rivers State for a number of months right now is becoming tiring, and Nigerians are sick and tired of the back and forth between whether it's a fatherism issue or not in the state presently.
It's good that Fubara is taking this quick response, Celeb. And I just hope that he's taking the quick response and then he will follow it to the end duly, appropriately. When it comes to these actions for the local government chairman, it should be very short term. Don't treat it like you'll be back for a second term. Don't treat it like that, or because you feel you will still have your hooks in Rivers, for example. Whether we like it or not, this is a very personal crisis as far as I'm concerned, because if it was political, we have laws guiding certain things. If it is governance, we have laws guiding certain things. So we'll be able to open our constitutions and say, according to section this and that, this is the step forward according to. But since we are not able to come to that point in Rivers, then we know that it's very personalized on all level, because now we are having Fubara supporters bringing down statues of Wike, and then you wonder, okay, wait, I thought it's for the government. Fubara was one, and Wike was once your governor. He deserves his statue to be standing. So why are you angry at the statue and bringing it down? It's like going to destroy a road because it was done by a former governor that you don't like anymore. We are just always taking ourselves backward when we act like that. We don't see that it also shows our backward mentality and why we are still underdeveloped. But that is on the lighter note side. Now, by me saying Fubara should treat it that way, as not for long term but short term, you have put in caretaker. This is the problem we are having concerning local government autonomy, because governors want to have power. You are using appointment to get your power. You're looking at putting people in position rather than election taking its place in this local government, so that the people will have, so that automatically when you go and their tenure elapses or it finishes, they move and there's election. So I just hope that Fubara does the best for his state. Don't do what your predecessor did. You will just be repeating the same mistake. Why you now have a caretaker to bring in, some peace and stability in this local government area, you begin to move for elections. These elections, depending on how long a local government tenure will last, comes and go with your own first tenure too. If you happen to come back again, fine.
Then another fresh
election continues, and then we go. So that even if you don't come back, the governor after you doesn't have to face this kind of problem. Because why are these chairmen that are being stubborn refusing to resign? And then this problem won't even be in the first place. Honestly, Sele, there are certain problems I believe that we are not supposed to be facing them. We should have outgrown them if we truly are growing democratically. But it feels like we are where we are. So yes, Fubara is doing what he can do best now. These quick actions, putting up a caretaker chairman for all of these local government areas, but it shouldn't stop there. It shouldn't stop there. When you have some peace and calm, some orderliness, do go a step ahead and put in the things that you need to put in place to stop whatever is happening from repeating itself.
Honestly, Richard, you spoke my mind, because it's very important. I just hope that he doesn't get very comfortable with the caretaker committee. You said something in the morning concerning the fact that power can get very addictive, and then when you're on seat, you don't want to step down. But just like I said, giving back to the society is expected that once you're done with your tenure, you don't even need to be pulled out.
You don't.
You still have your reputation to protect and your integrity. So it's just expected that you step down. And I just hope that he is planning to conduct a local government election as soon as possible. Already we know that if he does it this year, it will be going with his first tenure. So whoever will come in will have a fresh election. So I am hoping that this whole issue will not linger beyond the way it is right now. And then I hope that this will serve as a lesson to other governors.
Yes.
Because it's a matter of time you face the same issue right now. There are states that for the past 3 years, 6 years, no election for local government has been going on. And that is the reason why we're having the federal government swing governors. Because of that, we saw where Plateau State governor is saying that he has never tampered with the local government allocation. So that is to say their money is intact. So I'm happy when I hear things like this, but I hope that the local government can actually testify and say, yes, our governor has not tempered. We have been seeing the allocation coming to us. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. We just hope that after this caretaker committee, we will hear some peace and some quietness in River State, and then the governor can actually concentrate on what he needs to do. Because before you close your and open, Rachel, his first tenure is up. Already people are preparing for 2027 election as we speak presently. So it's not, too early for him to fix whatever needs to be fixed, do the local government election, so that we can see everything working smoothly in the country. Where I think that's how far we can go on the program. Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you to our viewers. Thank you also to our supporters. Until we come again tomorrow, please have a great day ahead.